Greetings all, and welcome back to Globbits Gaming Channel. Feels like ages since I've done a World of Tanks video. In fact, it pretty much has. It's nearly been a week by all records. Now, what I've got for you this time is the Great Wolf. Awesome name, by the way, from the Swede H clan. So I assume he's Swedish, just a guess. Can't actually see any Swedish flags on his Comet. He's got a little paw print on it for the decal. He's all camoed up, so he must like his Comet. Tier 7 British medium tank. Now, certain individuals who are quite popular on YouTube and much better players than I am rate this tank. They absolutely love it. I hated it. It's got good gun depression. It's got naff all armour, really, to be talking about. It has got reasonably good turret armour. Excuse those beeps there, somebody's trying to buzz me on Steam, which is amazing. Thanks, guys. Basically, why did I pick this game to use? I've been sent loads of games over the last couple of days. But I did, in the T29 video, have a few comments in the comment section of that video that you want to see a target prioritization video. Well, unfortunately, fuck, you're asking a lot there. You really are. There's so many factors to target prioritization. I don't think, even if I played 1,000 games, I could get enough footage to give you an instinct into target prioritization, because my target prioritization and yours might be slightly different depending on your feelings in a given situation. Now, how I'm going to get out of this one is every video I do from now on, if I see an instance where I differ and disagree with a certain replay player's choice of targets, I'll try and explain why. What you have to base target prioritization on is a whole passel of factors. Now, he's put the pain into the M5 Stuart already, into the scouts. He's killed 2 scouts already that pushed up to the ridge, which is good. And he's basically going to school the Jagdpanzer IV in the mechanics, spotting mechanics of World of Tanks. What you mean target prioritization? It's very, very situational. Now, the only thing I can think of giving him a basis of it is actually experience. You need to know so many things. You need to know how to use your vehicle. You need to know where you are, what situations involved, and what tanks you're against in order to select which tank you're going to shoot. A couple of factors that basically mean something in this kind of situation is what I like to call taking guns out of the game. Tank guns, I mean. So, say for example, you've got 2 T29s. One's on low health, one's on higher health. One's a one-shot for you. Obviously, take that guy out first, because the less guns shooting back at you, the better. But it just honestly really does depend. Now, the movement from this position down there up here carried some risk, and unfortunately, he paid the price with the KV-85s there. They're firing the 122s. They obviously don't understand the new KV-85 very well. It's 6 and 2 3s as to whether you use the 122 or the 100mm. One thing I did see in this replay, now it's not a criticism to the Great Wolf, but he does do a lot of right-click aiming in the Comet. And personally, in my personal experience, you cannot do that really when you're firing against heavy tanks. Even tier 6, look, bounced. Yeah. Bounced again. Yeah. So, we use the bush mechanics, they're so close together, and we shoot the turret properly, and we manage to penetrate. Now, right-click aiming is something that you can use if you're circling, for example. I mean, I use it exclusively when I'm circling. Or if I know that the tank has bingo armour. Even when you're half aiming there, you know, you have to aim for the right spots on tanks. The gun itself on this particular vehicle, it only has 148mm of penetration, which is all well and good when you're shooting at the sides and rears of heavies. When you're shooting at the front, you've got to pick your targets, and he does waste a few shots there, in my personal opinion. But again, it's not a criticism, he was against heavy tanks. So, me personally, Great Wolf there, he did a good display of how to actually use the bush mechanics. Because if you notice, he moved forward, spotted them, retreated back so he could only see their outlines. That means those KV-85s can't see him. Same again here, look. KV-85 is looking for him, but he can't see him. And he's putting the damage into him because all he can see is the outline of the tank. And there we go. He's going to put some good effective fire into the side of this guy, hopefully reducing him to boom. Yeah, we've got him down. He's pretty much not quite. Well, a good roll. It'll be a one shot. There we go. Managed to take out 3 targets already. Now, one thing I did like to note about this particular gun is the shell velocity. Look how slow those shells take to get to the target. So you do have to lead quite a lot with this. They're not exactly known for their high velocity, the British guns, especially the medium tank guns, unless you get to the realms of like your 20-pounders and stuff, and they tend to fire with a bit more venom than these lower powered, lower velocity guns. So now what I'm trying to get at here is what he's trying to do here. He needs to relocate. They're down to a Chaffee, him, and 3 scumbags. And this game is a prime example of why artillery needs to be taken out of World of Tanks, in my personal opinion. Whether you disagree, put it in the comments. I'm happy to hear it, but I think it needs changing. I love the War Thunder system. Now, the War Thunder system, if those you don't know, you basically get, you get one, if you're in a medium or a light tank, you get 1 free artillery call in War Thunder, which basically allows you to call in off-the-map artillery. They're not part of the game, alright, but it takes pretty much at least 10 to 15 seconds for the artillery to start landing, and you only get it once, and you only then get another one every time you kill an enemy tank, which I think is absolutely amazing. Now, it doesn't work in War Thunder because War Thunder has a realistic flavour to it. I'll come more on this in a minute. Now, unfortunately, he's going to make a little bit of a mistake here. He takes out his own Chaffee. Never mind. Let's get over it and move on. Yeah, that Chaffee was circling around and we were providing support and fire. The Chaffee maybe should have known a little bit better there, but we managed to take out the T-43. Now, Burt and Bishop here decide to stick with us. And this is coming up to the bit where I meant about target priority. So, the way I see it with World of Tanks, if they adopted the War Thunder system, you'd have 15 tanks in the game, and you wouldn't be down to matchups like this, personally. You could call off the map artillery, which would get campers out of camping spots, and it would give you a little bit of advantage if you have a little top overview. I think it would be a good idea. I'm going to get absolutely bitch slapped in the comments about that, but I don't give a shit. My personal opinion. We spotted T-37 on the right. This is an arcade game, right? That system in War Thunder would work in arcade. If you don't know what I mean, get your butts on War Thunder, right, and go have a play with it, because it really does work. It doesn't work in War Thunder very well. Simple reason. Because they play more realistic battles. If you're playing a realistic battle, you can only see out the hatches of your tank, and therefore having the advantage of popping up like commanders on a fucking pogo stick gives you an unfair advantage as far as the artillery goes. But I think it would work a great deal in World of Tanks. That's my personal opinion. So, target prioritisation then. Well, he's nailing this T-37, and the enemies are going to be closing in. Now, here's your Sturmil. Did you see what the Sturmil did there? Okay, the Sturmil has got the long gun. He's got the big gun, which has got a 9-second reload. He's got the arse of a Comet, and he decides to shoot Burt. He can see him from here. He can see him. And this is what I mean by target prioritisation. Sturmil should have fired and waited and shoot the Comet, because now Comet's going to put the pain into him. He's doing a bit of side scraping. He takes a hit. He should be dead. And the Comet keeps pounding him. Right click aiming, it doesn't matter in this case. Now, here we go. Who should he kill? The Sturmil's just fired and planted a good shot into him. That Sturmil, he knows he's got 9 seconds to nail that guy. That T-34-85 over there isn't a threat yet. He can't get him yet. He can't see him. There's 2 buildings in the way. So prioritise your main dangerous threat. The dangerous threat is the Tier 7 tank. So if that guy reloads, we be shagged. We're so screwed, it's unbelievable. So, put the pain into Sturmil. Use that rate of fire, even though the 85 is coming, and then drive forward. And thankfully the T-34-85 misses. We can reload and beat his reload. There were 2 classic examples of target prioritisation. The Sturmil got it wrong, and the Comet got it right. Sturmil, you wasted a shell killing Burt. The Sturmil was on full health. He could have taken a hit from Burt, but he decided to waste his shell, in my personal opinion, and shoot the artillery. Now, how many times has this happened to you in games when you're watching someone else and they see an artillery piece pop up and they don't shoot at that big heavy tank? They all turn their guns to shoot the artillery, which 9 times out of 10 isn't a threat. Alright, they're very inaccurate at close range. Well, I use this mostly inaccurate at close ranges. They do have splash, but they've usually got monster reloads. So, what's your priority? Do you want to kill the guy that's going to rape you in like once every 3 seconds for 150 damage, or shoot Burt? I don't know. Anyway, so we're alone against 2 artillery pieces and we've got very low health. Now this is dangerous for us. Very, very dangerous for the Comet. He's basically got to go hunting artillery. I'm just going to speed up the replay slightly. He's going looking at the major artillery camping spots. We already found an S51 over here. You can see it smoking wreck in the distance. So he's going to use the proximity spotting mechanic. So within 50 metres he'll automatically spot, and there's nothing here. Now artillery, if they're smart now, would be making their way towards his cap circle, but they're going to base camp, which is no biggie deal. Now they're going to draw him on and hopefully kill him. So they're going to work as a team. We need to spot them, hopefully, before they spot us. Now, we do not want to be in the open. What I would have done here, I'd have gone along that cliff, personally. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. He's down to APCR, and he's right-click aiming. You know this guy's just fired. This, I understand that he's going to be nervous. I would have aimed those shots a little bit better. It really does let him down. Again, right-click aiming. I would be aiming for track shots at this so the guy can't traverse onto you. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now we start aiming. Okay, we start aiming because they're getting a little bit of the tank that we can see. This artillery piece is going to reload. He's the lower tiered artillery. And we missed the first shot. Not a problem. We can probably see his hatches maybe. Yeah, we can see a hatch. That's a hitbox. 12. Oh, what a low roll. What a low roll. It wasn't a low roll, it was a high roll. But it just missed off by 12 HP. Ugh. So we need to work a little bit harder. Can we get him? Can we get him? Ay vey. Right, now we're in trouble. We know this guy's just reloaded. We know he's just reloaded. Alright, he's got to have reloaded by now. What would you do here? Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Back off, break contact, keep him guessing. Unfortunately. Yeah. Unlucky. Let's see the post-game stats on that one, guys. Alright then, post-game stats. It was a defeat. Okay, but look at what he got. Wow, a mastery badge in the Comet on a defeat. And people like Quickie Baby play this tank. Pretty good. Mastery badge in any tank for me is worthy of a view. We've got fire for effect, which I'll just expand the box. Cause more damage to enemy vehicles than hit points of your vehicle. I count this as my standard did I do okay badge. Causing more damage than your own tank's hit points. Duelist, destroy at least 2 enemy vehicles that cause damage to you. So getting sweet revenge. Bruiser, damage enemy vehicles modules. Naedin's medal. Naedin, sorry. Awarded to players destroyed all enemy light tanks in a battle. At least 3. I've got a couple of those, not many. Top Gun and Bradley Walters. The Great Wolf, I feel for you. I really do. I honestly, the amount of times I've been in the situation you were in at the end of that game, and I just think, for fuck's sake. I hate artillery. I hate it. It ruins these games. It really does. But this is me ranting. I'm going to stop. It ruins the game. It makes everything, it turns every game into a fucking camp fest because no one dares move. Anyway, we digress. So, what did it mean in the stats then? 4,047 damage with 7 kills and a base experience of 1,585. Wow. Okay. Let's do the maths. Okay, he got more experience on a loss than anyone. He got twice the top experience of the winning team. Wow. And it was all because of scumbags. It's nothing against the players. You know, I've played artillery myself, but I find it inherently boring. Me personally, I want it taken out of this game. I really do. It's just too powerful. And you get... anyway, enough ranting about it. So he spent quite a few credits. The Comet is not a cheap tank to run if you run it with premium ammunition. You kind of have to. Alright, the APCR is pretty much a given in most cases. I don't know what's happened here with regards to the WoT Replays, but it seems to have spazzed out. 58 shots fired, low 38 direct hits. Accuracy's not great, but 34 pens for 4,000 damage. Received 9 hits. Yeah, and it's just so unfortunate. So unfortunate at the end there. But yeah, I had to show this game. Alright, it's the first replay I've had where its target priority was actually a point. So, hope that satisfied some of you with your target priority necessities. And I'll try and do them in any other videos that I find. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now.